Hey, what's up guys, my name is Orion, and today I want to be talking about achievements. There are a ton of achievements inside of the game, and these achievements serve a purpose. They give a player something to do, an objective to complete, which then they'll feel satisfied about. So I was thinking, can you make custom achievements in-game? Well, the answer plain and simple is yes. I'm going to be showing off how to do it. Maybe you have some sort of a place that you want the player to reach. I'm going to be showing you how to make an achievement for that. Or perhaps you have some sort of a cave, a dungeon that you want the player to explore. And maybe they stumble upon a huge pile of emeralds, a huge pile of diamonds. I'm going to be showing you how to set up achievements for when they mine those. Or perhaps you have an adventure map and you want the players to make it to a fountain, make it some sort of a watery place. I got you covered. We're going to be looking at all those. So number one, the water one. The second one we're going to be taking a look at is going to be the ores, emeralds, and all that good stuff. And then the final one is for when they make it into a new area. We're also going to be showing off how to do that. So let's get into the commands. Alright, here we are with the commands. It's not that much, it's only, 5 commands per achievement. Now, right next to me there are a couple of other command blocks, but don't worry about the ones over here, I'll talk about them a little bit later. Alright, so I color-coded everything, hopefully it's a little bit easier to understand. The bottom blocks are always going to be the ones detecting what the player is doing, and they're going to fire every single other one. So this one is just detecting if the player steps on sand. Repeat, unconditional, and always active. So all we're doing is executing at all the players that don't have the tag of B1, and it's detecting if underneath their feet there is sand. And then it's going to be adding the tag of A1 if it does find sand there. Alrighty, going over to the second command, chain, conditional, and always active. So this is a tail rock command. All this is doing is, when that little achievement pops up and you can see what it does. In this case, this is just make it to the Badlands, but you can change it to whatever achievement you want. Now then, if you're wondering about the colored text, let me see if I could explain it kind of well. It's basically this weird symbol, it's kind of like a double S. Let me just show it. So this is a symbol. So after the S, when you add a number, it makes a color. So for example, S9 is blue. Now then, third command. All this is doing is executing at everybody who has that tag of A1, and it's just playing a sound there. This is just so the player can actually hear something when the pop-up does happen. Almost forgot to mention chain, conditional, and the always active. Remember that. Next up are the final two commands. This one is just a chain, conditional, and always active command, and all it's doing is executing at everybody with the tag of A1, and it's just adding the tag of B1. Then the next command right above that one is just going to be a chain, conditional, and always active command, and it's just removing the tag of A1. Now that we're done with that one, let's take a look at the emerald one. So this one, it is a repeat, unconditional, and always active command. All it's doing is executing at that item, the emerald, with a count of 1, and it's going to be tagging the nearest player with A2, that doesn't have the tag of B2. This is where it gets kind of repetitive. Let me show you why. So basically, this next one is basically the same thing, chain, conditional, and always active. All we're changing is the actual achievement itself, so like the text that's on it. In this case, it changed to I'm swimming in the M's. So, the next command is literally the same. There's no changes except for the tag, because instead of using A1, we're using A2 because this is the second achievement. Like I said, some of the commands are going to start repeating themselves. So as for the fourth one that we have up here, it's just going to be adding the tag of B2 to everybody who has a tag of A2. It's basically going to be the same one as this one, but instead we're doing the A2 and B2. So then the third one is just going to be removing that A2, same as the other one, which had an A1. So yeah, now you can see how it gets repetitive. Alrighty, so for the third command, this one is just detecting if the player is in water, executing all the players that don't have the tag of B3, it's just detecting if right on the person there is water, and if there is, it's adding the tag of A3. The next command after that one is going to be this one. Again, same thing, chain, conditional, and always active, and it's going to be saying what the achievement is. Then after that one, we have again, literally exactly the same, chain, conditional, always active, but all this one is doing is executing at all the players that have A3 instead of A1 and instead of A2. Same thing. Now going over to the next one, again, really repetitive. All it's doing is adding the tag of B3 instead of B2 instead of B1. And then the final one over here is just removing the tag of A3 instead of A1 instead of A2. Literally the same thing. And with that, you should be done. Actually, I want to show you how you can reset them. So right in front of me, there's 3 command blocks. If you have more achievements, you're obviously going to want more. So all this is doing is removing the tag of B1, and then it keeps on going like that. So for example, if you had like 16 achievements, you would remove B1, B2, and then you will remove like B3, B4, B5, B6. You get the idea. It all depends on how many commands, or how many achievements, better said, you have. Wait a minute, actually. There's still one more thing we could take a look at, and it's that achievements can also give cosmetics. Now obviously we do not have these in the vanilla game where you can like change somebody's clothing or whatever, but we do have particle trails. So that's what I want to show off. So right here we have the white trail, and it says we need the water achievement. If I press it, it does nothing. I don't get any trail, I don't get anything. But if I were to go ahead and dive inside of this water, we can see we made the achievement I'm going to drown. Now if we go ahead and press the button, we can see that now we have this really cool white particle trail following us around wherever we go. Now you can do this with every single achievement you've made. Let me show you. This one requires the emerald achievement, and it gives you a red trail. But when I press it, it does nothing because, you still don't have that achievement. But over here, there's some emerald ore, so let's just go ahead and break that. Now we have the achievement. So if I go ahead and press this, we can see that the white particle trail is literally completely gone, and we are left with this really cool red particle trail. Now there's still one more I gotta show you guys, which is the Badlands achievement one. So again, if I press this button, it does absolutely nothing. We still have the red particle trail on us. But if I were to go ahead, get the Badlands achievement, go back, press the button, we can see that we have an all new particle trail, and it replaces the red one that we had previously. Now what do you say I go ahead and show you guys how to set this up? Now these particle trails literally take 6 command blocks, a lot less than the actual achievements themselves. But first we need to type something in our chat, and that would be /scoreboard objectives add trail dummy. This is going to make it extremely easy for us to switch between our particle trails. Time for the particle commands themselves. It's literally only 1 command block. So all this is doing is executing at everybody who has that objective that we set up earlier to 1. So trail equals 1. And the particle, you can change it with whatever you want. There are hundreds of particles in the game, so be creative. Oh wait, I almost forgot. Repeat, unconditional, and always active. Now, the only thing that changes between this one and this one is just that we're changing the actual score. Instead of being 1, it's going to be 2. And then the particle, obviously you want to change it so it's not the same particle with every single achievement. Alrighty, so going over to the third one, all that's going to change is that the trail is going to equal 3 instead of 1 instead of 2. And again, if you have multiples of these achievements, you want to have like trail 4, 5, etc. Now how do we set these up so players can actually use them? Well, you have your wall like this. You have your button set up, you have your sign set up and everything, and behind that button, you're just going to set up your command block. And it's literally only 1. All it's doing is checking if the player has the tag of B3. If it does have the tag, it means they completed that objective and can't receive this trail. And in this case, we're just switching their scoreboard to trail 1. So they'll get the very first particle trail. And then for the second one, we're checking if they have, again, the tag of B2. And if they do have it, they'll get the second trail. And as for the third one, all we're doing is checking if the player has the tag of B1. If they do, it's going to be switching the scoreboard to 3. And with that, you guys should be completely done with this. Alrighty, ladies and gents, thank you for making it to the end of the video. If you did, leave a like, sub if you liked, and I'll be seeing you later. Peace.